All right, we're getting ready to go here with the final deciding game, number 15. It's going to be Plymouth and Fairfield playing again. 8:20. All right, so we got a little bit to go here. It's going to be 8:20 is going to be first pitch here between Fairfield and Plymouth. It's going to be for all the marbles. The winner is your 12U senior state champion, and the loser is going to be the runner-up. Plymouth forced this game by winning by a score of 15-3 in game number 1 here tonight. It's going to be game number 15 of the tournament coming up next. You're watching RTC TV4. We'll keep it here. And about 8:20 is going to be our game time, first pitch. 8:20. Thanks.
Turned one at June 5th. They were all behind that center booth. I was looking in the dugout. It's been really good.
All right, everybody, welcome back here to Frankton Town and Country Youth League Field for game number 15, final game of the 12U State Finals here at Frankton for 2019. It is the do or die deciding game between Plymouth and Fairfield. Plymouth forced this game by winning game 14 here just a little bit ago by a final score of 15-3 over Fairfield, giving Fairfield their first loss of the tournament. So both teams come in with one loss. The loser is runner-up, and the winner is your 2019 state champion for 12U Town and Country. Fairfield's going to be the visitors on the scoreboard here for this one. Leading off for Fairfield, number 5, Eli Miller, playing in left. Number 2 batter is number 17, Garrett Stoltzfus. He'll be in center. Batting third is going to be Grady Garber, number 26. He'll be playing first. Batting cleanup is going to be Keegan Miller, number 00. He'll be the extra hitter. Batting in the 5th spot is going to be number 27, Hunter Kaufman, the shortstop. Batting in the 6th spot, number 18, Braden Kirkendorfer. He'll be out in right. Batting 7th, number 6, Matthew Sin. He'll be behind the plate. Batting 8th is number 15, Anthony Snyder. He'll be at second. Batting 9th, number 1, Nate Bailey. He'll be the pitcher. And rounding out the batting order is going to be number 40, Bruce Yoder. All right, leading things off here is left fielder Eli Miller. And the first pitch is hit over to second. Play over to first for out number 1. On the mound for Plymouth starting this one is going to be number 00, Mason Bales. It's going to bring up Stoltzfus with Garber on deck. Jordan is at first. Bowling is at second base. 2 balls, no strikes. That one in there for strike 1. That one is popped up. Back to make the play is the second baseman, Caleb Bowling, for out number 2. It's going to bring up Garber with Miller on deck. Preston Wolf is at short. Trey Delp at third for Plymouth. That one misses down low, ball 1. That one is popped up, out of play. Jack Cheney behind the plate here for Plymouth. Preston Jessen moves out into left. And that's going to be out number 3. 1, 2, 3 here in the top of 1 after half. It's Plymouth 0, Fairfield 0. Be back here with the bottom of inning number 1 here in just a moment on RTC TV4. All right, as we get set here for the bottom of 1, it's going to be Cheney, Jessen, Bowling, Jordan, Delp, Wolf, Christensen, Wolf, Bales, C, and Mackey. Leading off for Plymouth, Jack Cheney. Jack is playing catcher here in this one. It's the first time I've seen him behind the plate in this tournament anyway. So Plymouth's changing things up here a little bit as we get into the 15th and deciding game of the 12U state tournament. Nate Bailey on the mound here for Fairfield. Lights are on. Beautiful night here at Frankton. There's a little poke over to short, and in time for out number 1. It's going to bring up number 44, Preston Jessen. Preston in the left field spot here in this one. Been spending his majority of this tournament behind the plate. Nice little bunt, and it's going to go foul right at the last second. I like that call. That was demonstrative. You knew that was a foul ball. So no balls, 1 strike here for Jessen. Ball 1. Again, want to say some thank yous to everybody here at Frankton. Paul Browning and his crew just been tremendously accommodating to us here all week long. Glad to have gotten the chance to come down here and meet these guys. There's a shot out into right, and getting underneath it out there for the out is the right fielder, Braden Kirkendorfer, for out number 2. That one is shot foul for strike 1. One's going to be over the head. 1 ball, 1 strike. Second baseman Caleb Bowling with Trey Jordan on deck. That one's shot out, foul for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. That's going to go outside. Count goes full, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for out number 3. And Plymouth goes 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first. So after 1, Fairfield 0, Plymouth 0, coming back with the top of the second. For Plymouth, it's going to be Miller, Kaufman, and Kirkendorfer when we get back. Thanks for watching RTC TV4. All right, leading things off here for the Fairfield team in the top of the second, number 00, Keegan Miller, Kaufman, and Kirkendorfer. First 3, Miller leads off with a single up the middle. So leadoff man is aboard, first base runner of the game for either team. And that's going to bring up Hunter Kaufman with Braden Kirkendorfer on deck. Going to be outside, ball 1. That one catches the inside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike. 0-0 Mason Bales on the mound here for Plymouth for the second inning. That one gets into the dirt, gets away. Going for third, and maybe a little too aggressive there. Then the run down, Miller, and they throw it away. He's going to be in. Thought about it. He's going to stay there. Great aggressive base running. Good job of coming back and making Plymouth make the play. And Miller able to get in at third. 3-1 count now for Kaufman with Kirkendorfer on deck. There's a shot. That's a hopper. Play over to first. Safe at home. Miller gets on the board for Fairfield. So with 1 out, Fairfield gets on the board here in the top of the second. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fairfield leads 1-0 here in the top of the second. Matthew Sin on deck for Fairfield. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Kirkendorfer. Pokes at that one, a nice job there by Bales. Over to first in time for out number 2. That's only 2, isn't it? Plymouth, a few of the kids thought it might be the third out. That's going to bring up Matthew Sin with Anthony Snyder on deck. Fair ball. Sen sends one past third base, and he is on with a 2-out single. It's going to bring up Anthony Snyder. Comes to the plate with 2 down and 1 on. Nate Bailey on deck. Ooh. Just barely. Nice throw there from Cheney. Just barely misses on the return there. Sen just gets back in. No balls, 1 strike here for Snyder. They call that a ball. Now it's a foul, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count goes to 2-2. There's a shot up the middle. Snyder's aboard with a 2-out single. Brings up Nate Bailey with 2 down here in the top of the second. On deck, number 40, Bruce Yoder. Have a courtesy runner over on second for Fairfield's catcher. Kirkendorfer going to come in and run for him. Nate Bailey comes to the plate here with 2 outs, 2 on here in the top of the second. No. Yeah, I didn't write it down. 3 balls, 1 strike now. And it's outside Bailey, and that's going to walk the bases full here for Fairfield for Bruce Yoder. That one catches the outside corner for strike 1. Yoder swing and a miss, strike 2. Plymouth trying to get out of a little jam here. 1 run across, 2 outs with the bases loaded here in the top of the second. That one is ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Yoder On deck is Eli Miller, the leadoff hitter for Fairfield. Fouls that one off, stays alive. Count stays 2-2. Another one keeps alive. This Fairfield team's showing some resiliency here in the early going when this with this game after losing 15-3 in game number 1, but the strikeout for out number 3 ends the inning. So Fairfield leaves the bases loaded, but they get 1 run on 2 hits, leave 3 on. After an inning and a half, the score is Fairfield 1, Plymouth 0. Be back here with the bottom of the second. Trey Jordan, Trey Delp, and Preston Wolf leading things off when we come back here on RTC TV4. All right, leading off the bottom of the second here for Plymouth, number 22, Trey Jordan, first baseman. Nate Bailey on the mound for Fairfield. Gets that one in for strike 1. That one is popped up into right. Coming back, making the play for Fairfield is the second baseman, Anthony Snyder, for out number 1. Brings up Trey Delp with Preston Wolf on deck. There's a shot back to Bailey, recovers over to first in time for out number 2. Brings up Preston Wolf. On deck, Jack Christensen. Bailey gets that one in for a strike. Nate Bailey doing a nice job here for Fairfield. There's a shot over down to first, and out number 3 on the unassisted play there at first. That's going to retire the side. After 2 innings, score is Fairfield 1, Plymouth 0. Come back here with the top of the third for Fairfield. Back up top, Eli Miller, Garrett Stoltzfus, and Grady Garber when we get back here in just a moment on RTC TV4.
Number 5, Eli Miller.
Leading things off for Fairfield here in the top of the third, Eli Miller. Fairfield with a 1-0 lead here after 2. Chases after that one for a foul ball, strike 1. That's a bunted foul for strike 2, so we're going to have to protect the plate here with 2 strikes. Rip down third baseline foul. Count stays 0-2. Mason Bales on the mound here for Plymouth in the third. There's a shot, bounce over the nice play. Wolf in time. What a play from short by Preston Wolf. That was impressive. That looked like it was headed for center field. Wolf range over second base, getting the out. Plymouth looked a little lackluster through the first 2 innings, I'm not going to lie. And that play by Wolf right there might have just gave them the juice that they need to get this thing going. That one gets away. So 2 balls, no strikes. Batter is Garrett Stoltzfus with Grady Garber on deck. Rio here. Bales having some trouble on this batter. Missed all 3 of those way outside. Gets that one across, strike 1. Pops that one back, so the count goes full here for Stoltzfus. Popped out to shallow right with the play being made there by second baseman Bowling. There's a shot. Wolf plays the bounce. Play over to first in time. Out number 2. 2 6-3 putouts by Wolf over at short brings up Grady Garber with Keegan Miller on deck. This foul tip, strike 1. That one in the left, coming in. That's going to drop, and it gets past Christensen out there. And in with a double for Fairfield is Garber. So with 2 outs and a runner at second, the extra hitter 0-0 Keegan Miller comes to the plate with Hunter Kaufman on deck. Miller had a single and scored. See if that was intended to be out there, or if they're going to maybe put Miller on here. Nope, they're going in there, so that was ball 2. So Bales staying away from Miller here with a runner at second, 2 outs. Hunter Kaufman on deck. And they're going to put Miller on. So Hunter Kaufman comes to the plate with 2 on, 2 outs. Braden Kirkendorfer on deck. Plymouth coach going to go out and talk things over with pitcher Bales and the rest of the infield. Kind of talk through the strategy here, what they want to do with 2 outs. Fairfield at bat here in the top of the third, leading 1-0 over Plymouth. Gets that one in for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Kaufman. That one's popped back, out of play. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the third. 2 on for Fairfield. Little change up and a nice job there at first by Jordan. I don't know how he even saw that ball with Miller right there, but he's able to get the out for out number 3. Fairfield leaves 2 on, get no hits or no runs on 1 hit in that inning. When we come back for the bottom of the third, it's going to be Christensen, Parker Wolf, and Mason Bales coming up for Plymouth. Be back here in just a moment on RTC TV4. All right, leading things off here for Plymouth in the bottom of the third. It's going to be number 6, Jack Christensen, followed by Parker Wolf and Mason Bales. First attempt here for Christensen. 1 pitch, shot over to first, and quickly out number 1. Bringing up Parker Wolf. Nate Bailey on the mound for Fairfield here through the first 3 innings, doing a great job so far for the Fairfield squad. Two pitches that time, and over and making the play at first for out number 2. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Brings up Mason Bales. Just a little outside. There's a shot out into center against the fence. And Bales in with a double. So first base runner here for Plymouth. Brings up Malachi C. with 2 outs, 1 on. On deck, Blake Mackey. Fouls that one off, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That one misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a little hopper over there. That's going to be trouble. They got him in a rundown. Now they should have just stuck with play at second, got the out. So Plymouth able to be aggressive there on the bases. And they get one across. So Plymouth ties it up here in the bottom of the 3rd, still trying to get out of the inning as Fairfield with 2 outs. Blake Mackey at the plate. Gets that one in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one misses for ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. Fouled back. Count goes to 2-2. So Mackey is on, hit by a pitch, and that brings up Jack Cheney. 2 outs, 2 on for Plymouth. There's a shot, and it's going to get through. Rounding third, and scoring is C, and out at third is Mackey for out number 3. Run scores. So Plymouth gets 2 here in the bottom of the third. Lead 2-1 after 3. We're going to take a break. Come back with the top of the fourth. Fairfield trailing 2-1, and when we come back, it's going to be Kirkendorfer, Sin, and Snyder for Fairfield. Be back here in just a moment. All right, welcome back. Starting the fourth here, Plymouth gets 2 back in the bottom of the third, gains the lead 2-1. And leading off for Fairfield, number 18, Braden Kirkendorfer, Matthew Sin, Anthony Snyder, your first 3 batters. Count here to Kirkendorfer. That one catches the outside corner for strike 1. So leadoff walk issued by Plymouth. Brings up the catcher, number 6, Matthew Sin, with Snyder on deck. Get out of conference here. This might be it for Bales. They're going to have a new pitcher coming in for Plymouth. Looks like Jack Cheney going to get the ball. So we'll take a break here while Cheney gets warmed up. We have nobody out here in the top of the fourth with 1 on. Coming up, Matthew Sin for Fairfield will be back in a moment here on RTC TV4. All right, welcome back here as we get set to go. Jack Cheney going to be the new pitcher. Mason Bales went 2 innings for Plymouth. Gave up 1 run on 3 hits. Had 2 strikeouts. First batter here for Cheney is going to be number 6, Matthew Sin. Matthew fouls that one off. Strike 1. That One outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Little hopper over to second. And in time. Great recovery over there by Bowling to get the out. Kirkendorfer does move over to second on the play, bringing up Anthony Snyder with Nate Bailey on deck. Oh, that hits him. All right, so Snyder going to be on with 1 out. Runners at first and second. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Nate Bailey. Bailey walked in his only plate appearance here this game. One ball, 1 strike now for Bailey. Runners at first and second for Fairfield, 1 out. Nice bunt. That's going to be an out, but he's going to move the runners over. For Bruce Yoder with 2 down. So Fairfield trying to play some small ball here. Let's see if Yoder can get a hit and get a run in for Fairfield. Outside corner. Fouls that one back, so Yoder down 0-2 quickly here with 2 outs. Cheney trying to get Plymouth out of a bit of a jam here with 2 on for Fairfield. Right down the middle, Yoder goes down. Fairfield leaves 2 on here in the top of the 4th. So the score remains Plymouth 2, Fairfield 1 when we come back in the bottom of the 4th. Preston Jessen, Caleb Bowling, and Trey Jordan, your batters for Plymouth. Back here in just a moment on RTC TV4. All right, so bottom of the fourth underway. Leading off here for Plymouth is Preston Jessen. Nate Bailey on the mound here, done a fine job for Fairfield here through 3 innings. One ball, one strike here for Preston Jessen. On deck is Caleb Bowling with Trey Jordan, your first 3. Squares up the bunt. That goes foul for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes here for Jessen. Going to have to protect. Fouls that one off. Stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Change up misses high. Count goes to 2-2. There's a shot out in the right. Getting underneath it out there, making the catch for Fairfield is Braden Kirkendorfer for out number 1. It's going to bring up Caleb Bowling with Trey Jordan on deck. Plymouth holding on to a 2-1 advantage. They got 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, putting them ahead. We are in our 15th and final game here in the 12U state tournament. Sharply hit, but foul for strike 1. Plymouth forced the game after winning the first game here this evening 15-3 over Fairfield. So this is your championship game here. Winner is the 12U state champs. It's been a good one so far here through 3.5. That one catches the outside corner, so they're giving that corner pretty consistently here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one a little bit too far out. Fights that one off, stays 2-2. Outside, count goes full. Nobody on, 1 out here for Bowling. Bottom of the 4th. That one's sent out into right. Coming back and making the catch from the second baseman position for Fairfield is Snyder for out number 2. It's going to bring up Trey Jordan now with 2 outs, nobody on for Plymouth. Bailey gets that one in there for a strike. Trey Delp on deck for Plymouth. That one gets through for a 2-out hit for Trey Jordan. They need 1 more tray, then they could have a tray of trays. Yeah, only got 2 trays. Let's change their name to Dose. So 2 out here for Trey Delp. Swing and a miss. That was a big rip there by Delp. Just misses on the inside corner. Delp is up tight on that box. I think his hands are almost over the plate. There's a shot. Over to second. Lead runner is out for out number 3, so they get one aboard, but not able to move them across. After 4, count remains Plymouth 2, Fairfield 1. When we come back here for the top of the 5th already. Quick game so far. Back to the top of the lineup, Miller, Stoltzfus, and Garber when we come back. Thanks for watching RTC TV4. All right, Miller going to lead us off here in the top of the 5th for Fairfield. Jack Cheney on the mound. Came in relief of Mason Bales. Pitched the last inning. That's trouble. They weren't expecting that. Lays down a nice bunt. Gets on. Leadoff man aboard for Fairfield. Brings up Garrett Stoltzfus. 0 for 2 on the game. That one in there for a strike from Cheney. And he tries to lay down a bunt, but that's going to go foul for strike 2. Lights on as we go into the top of the 5th here with Fairfield trailing 2-1 against Plymouth. That one outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fairfield took the lead with a run in the top of the 2nd. Plymouth was able to come back and get 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. And Stoltzfus goes down looking for out number 1. It's going to bring up Grady Garber with 1 on and 1 out. On deck is Keegan Miller. Fairfield trying to manufacture a run here. That's a bunt foul for Garber for strike 1. Delp over to second, not in time at first. It's going to bring up Keegan Miller with 1 on and 2 outs now here for Fairfield. I want to give a shout out here while we're waiting. They have to actually throw the pitches. My wife, Carrie, is down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, watching with her best friend from high school, Amy, and their family. So shout out to Carrie and Amy and McKenna and everyone down there. Lauren, hi from Indiana. Hope you guys are having fun. So they're going to walk Miller here with 2 outs. So Hunter Kaufman comes to the plate here with 2 outs and 2 on for Fairfield. Crowd is getting into it now. Are they sitting right underneath us or what? Count is. All right, Andy, I gotcha. Andy and Amy Stone are watching. When you're a producer, I don't know, do you get a shout out still, Andy? Really? You want a shout out? Okay, so Andy and Amy are watching. If you're watching and you're not a producer, you can get on our Twitter at RTCTV4 and let us know where you're watching from. Strike 3, Kaufman goes down, out number 3. And that'll do it. A little bit of a threat for Fairfield. Leave 2 on here in the top of the 5th. So we'll come back with the bottom of the 5th for Plymouth. It's going to be Wolf, Christensen, and Wolf when we come back here on RTC TV4. All right, welcome back. We're getting set to go here, bottom of the 5th. Thanks for everybody tuning in, getting a lot of people texting me on different things here. And really appreciate the interaction here tonight. It's a fun game. A lot on the line here. State championship on the line. Plymouth leading 2-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. Preston Wolf going to lead things off for Plymouth. New pitcher for Fairfield is going to be number 26, Grady Garber. And Wolf is going to be aboard with a leadoff single for Plymouth. And it's going to bring up Christensen. So Nate Bailey pitched 4 innings for Fairfield, allowed 2 runs, did a great job for the Fairfield squad. Let's see what Garber can do here as he gets going for his first inning of work. Christensen, Parker Wolf on deck. Play down to second and was close, but Kirkendorfer, or Kaufman, sorry, starts with a K, not able to hold on to it out there. So Wolf in safely at second. Nice throw down there on that play by Sin. Count 2 balls and 1 strike here for Christensen. Grounded out to first, his only at bat here in this one. That one outside, it's going to be a walk, so 2 on here for Plymouth, leading off the bottom of the 5th. It's going to bring up Parker Wolf with Mason Bailey on deck. Two balls, no strikes for Parker Wolf. Runners on first and second. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th for Plymouth. Gets that one in for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Wolf is going to walk, and the bases are going to be loaded here for Fairfield with no outs. And they're going to switch some things around here. Hunter Kaufman going to come in and pitch for Fairfield. Keegan Miller, I think, doesn't he have still a couple innings available? 2 innings. I'm wondering if he went out in that first game, completely out of the game. I'm wondering if he's not maybe hurting a little bit. But with 2 innings left, you would think if he was available, they would have him in on the mound for Fairfield. So bases loaded here. Mason Bales going to be the next batter here with Malachi C. Blake Mackey on deck and in the hole for Plymouth. Kaufman going to come in relief of Garber. Fairfield still trying to find the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to hold things close here. They got one more chance in the top of the 6th, trailing by 1 right now, but Plymouth has the bases loaded. And Mason Bales coming up. One for one on the evening with a double and scoring back in the 3rd for Plymouth. Two for 4 in the first game. Had an RBI. So let's see what he can do here with no outs and the base is loaded. Kaufman misses inside, so 2 balls, no strikes. Gets him swinging on that one, 2-1 count. Nice one there, so the count goes 2-2 for Bales. He had some home run shot rips on those first 2 swings. And a swing and a miss for out number 1. Good job there for Kaufman, finding a way to get that out. Gets the strikeout on Bales. It's going to bring up number 99, Malachi C., with Blake Mackey on deck. Good job there by Sin. That was a little high. Ball 1. Outside for C. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, bases loaded here for Plymouth. Bottom of the 5th. Pilgrims leading 2-1 over Fairfield. There's a big cut. Strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Kaufman doing a good job battling here with bases loaded. Changeup fouled off. Count stays 2-2. Outside, count goes full. Probably the biggest pitch of the game right here from Kaufman. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Plymouth leading 2-1. Right down the middle, strikeout. Got him looking for out number 2. That's going to bring up Blake Mackey. If Kaufman can somehow battle his way out of this, coming on with no outs and the bases loaded, Mackey's going to have something to say about it here, though, for Plymouth. Swing and a miss, strike 1. There's a bunt. Play at the plate. Out number 3. Hunter Kaufman comes in with a bases loaded, no outs, and finds a way to get the Fairfield team out of that inning with no runs across for Plymouth. Plymouth leaves 3 and gives Fairfield an opportunity here in the top of the 6th, trailing 2-1 over Plymouth. It's going to be Kirkendorfer, Sin, and Snyder. One more chance here for Fairfield when we come back. Thanks for watching RTC TV4. Well, if Fairfield can somehow make a comeback, trailing 2-1 here in the top of the 6th, they ought to give the game ball to Hunter Kaufman, coming in with bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the 5th, and getting a very, very tough Plymouth team out in 3 batters. He's going to deserve a lot of the credit for that one. Still got to get a couple runs, though, here, at least one to make it go to the bottom of the 6th. Plymouth leading 2-1 here. And it's Kirkendorfer, Sin, and Snyder, first 3 batters. Count goes to 2-2. And Kirkendorfer goes down swinging for out number 1. Going to bring up Matthew Sin with Anthony Snyder on deck. Jack Cheney on the mound for Plymouth. That one's fouled back by Sin, strike 1. Cheney in for his 3rd inning of work. Actually, his 4th inning of work. Had to use my fingers on that one. Came in relief of the starter, Mason Bales, in the 3rd inning. So that one fouled back. Sin down 0-2 now. Snyder on deck. Sin able to battle that one off. Stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fairfield's got to find a way to get aboard here with 1 out, trailing by 1 in the top of the 6th. Plymouth trying to find 2 more outs. It's been a great game, number 15 here between Plymouth and Fairfield. That one's popped up. And a good job there. Out number 2 coming off of the catcher's position, making that catch, Preston Jessen. So with 2 down here, Fairfield down to their last out opportunity. Anthony Snyder with Nate Bailey on deck. And a swing and a miss. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Plymouth trying to hold off a Fairfield team that's played a great game here. Cheney misses that one outside. This has been nothing short of a great game, coming back from a big loss in game number 1 of the evening. Plymouth won that one 15-3, and the ace for Fairfield has been unavailable here to pitch in this game. Keegan Miller might have tweaked his arm a little bit in that first one. 3 balls, 1 strike. Snyder aboard with a walk. That's going to bring up Nate Bailey. Tying run is aboard. Go ahead run at the plate for Fairfield, but 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. On deck, number 40, Bruce Yoder. And that one in there for strike 1 to Bailey. Bailey 0 for 1 with a walk here this evening. And that's fouled back, so 0-2. Bailey going to have to do whatever he can here to stay alive. State championship in the balance here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Fairfield trailing by 1. Palms are getting sweaty. That one is a ball, so good eye there by Bailey, holding off on that high fastball from Cheney. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside, 2-2. On deck, Bruce Yoder. Had a collision out there on the throw down to first. Snyder and Trey Jordan. So they're attending to the Fairfield player Anthony Snyder down there. They had a collision with him and Trey Jordan on the throw down on the play back at first. Looks like his arm might have got stepped on, maybe. Got hit with the ball on his arm. Okay. Is it? He got hit earlier by the pitch in the chest, so he's had a rough one here for Fairfield, but he's been able to get on base, so that's a big thing here for him. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Fairfield trailing 2-1 here to Plymouth. It all hangs in the balance here for Nate Bailey. Game number 15 of our coverage here in the 12U state finals. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody for tuning in to our broadcasts here. And the payoff pitch. And he stays alive. Bailey able to fight it off. One more time from Cheney. Fouls off, one more pitch. Bailey finding a way, staying alive. If he does it one more time, I'm going to start singing Bee Gees songs here. Right down the middle, Cheney over to first, and the Plymouth Pilgrims are the 2019 12U state champions for the Town and Country League, winning by a final score of 2-1 here over Fairfield. What a great game here between both teams. Fairfield played an awesome game, and it all came down to one play there in the top of the 6th as they were fighting off a 3-2 count. And Cheney able to throw it over for out number 3. Congratulations to Fairfield on a great season, and congratulations to Plymouth, the 2019 Town and Country 12U state champs. Keep it here. We're going to have the trophy presentation in its entirety here, giving the trophies to the runner-up Fairfield. You can see those trophies being carted out here, and the champion Plymouth Pilgrims, your 2019 Town and Country state champs. Final score, Plymouth 2, Fairfield 1. We'll keep it here for the trophy presentation coming up next on RTC TV4. Perfect.
Give them a minute.
Yeah, no problem. So they'll walk up in front or behind?
What do you want to do?
Doesn't matter.
Do it front.
That's fine. I just know how tight the zoom. Yeah, that's fine.
You know, I don't think you could ask for a better evening baseball. We played 15 games this weekend, and we finished it off with one of the best 12 games I've seen in a very long time. So congratulations, boys. What a wonderful evening of baseball. I have to recognize a couple things here. Hunter Kaufman, who are you? I try to keep track of kids as hard as it is. Kaufman. You did something fabulous. You came in with bases loaded and no outs. You got out of that inning without giving up a run. That was awesome. So, good job. And then, one of the highlights that I think probably it was a fabulous play. Preston Wolf, who are you? Raise your hand. All right, that play you made, that the ball got through past your pitcher, you got it, snagged it through the middle, made the out at first. That was one of the best 12U plays I've seen all season. So, good job. It really was a fabulous game. Both teams, Plymouth and Fairfield, I appreciate you, everything you did to help. We postponed the game last night. I'm glad we did because the field's a lot better, we don't have mud holes, and it was nice to drive and be able to play baseball. So thank you for being there. Thanks for driving here. Thanks for coming to Franklin. We appreciate it. So we'll get started. If I can have Fairfield's coach.
So that's Paul Browning, the president of the board here at Frankton, and just want to thank him for all his hospitality. Everybody up here has been just wonderful to us here all week long.
We had some banners made up. These are just simply, they've been hanging up all weekend, but the 12U state finalists, so we have no use for them after the games are over. So each team will get one of these.
Thank you.
So take that and you can hang it up on your diamond or whatever you want to do. But every team that was a part of this weekend is on there. So congratulations on that. We have the state 12U state runner-up banner, which I'll give to you, and then I'll let you introduce your team, and if I can get another coach to come up and hand out the trophies as well. And if you'll hand them out right in front, you'll be front and center on RTC TV4. And Steve's up there smiling, I got it right.
All right, well, we appreciate the shout out there, Paul Browning. Great job, Fairfield kids. Hunter Kaufman, what a great game. Coming in, having a spectacular game. Nate Bailey. Garrett Stoltzfus. We've seen these kids play the last 2 years here in this division. Keegan Miller had a great game. Bruce Yoder. This Fairfield team, you just got to give them a lot of credit. These kids, Matthew Sen, these kids qualified last year for the state tournament as basically all 11-year-olds. Kirkendorfer, Isaac Mast. Andrew Matthews. Anthony Snyder. Grady Garber. Eli Miller. It's a little bittersweet here. I've watched these kids play. I kind of feel like I've watched them grow up. And McLeod. Seems like I kind of watched them grow up here over the last year and a half, 2 years. So congratulations to the Fairfield squad here, 12U state runners-up. And the Plymouth Pilgrims, your 2019 state champions here, 12U senior division. And we'll get the coaches to come over here and announce their players.
Congratulations. Okay, 67, Jack Cheney.
Jack Cheney had a wonderful week, did a great job on the mound. Preston Jessen. I tell you, he is a force behind the plate. Caleb Bowling, what a great job hitting the ball, second baseman. Trey Jordan over at first, he had some big hits for Plymouth. Mason Bales, he had some big hits, played a great field. Preston Wolf, and they talked about him with that play he had at short. That was amazing. Christensen, he had some big hitting. Parker Wolf, he's a younger brother of Preston, coming in, having some big hits. Malachi C, he had some speed, man, just on the bases. Trey Delp played a solid third base all week long. Blake Mackey. So fantastic job, Plymouth.
Now, you're missing one right here, Coach.
And there's the big trophy.
This is the traveling trophy for Town and Country. So, boys, congratulations.
There it is, the big one, holding that one up. Town and Country.
You know, we did something really cool this year. I thought when we won district, our teams got together. Both teams from the final game of district got together and intermingled at home plate. I thought it was such a cool moment. If you guys can take one of those and send me one, I'd appreciate it. But open it up, take pictures, do whatever you want. We'll leave the lights on for a little bit. And congratulations once again. Thanks for coming. Have a safe drive home.
All right, so that's going to wrap things up here of our coverage of Town and Country 12U baseball here from Frankton. Thanks to everybody at Frankton. Thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight. What a wonderful week of coverage it's been here on RTC TV4. Thanks to all the great compliments that everybody's been coming up saying, you know, grandma's watching, great-grandma's watching. We were watching in Iowa. Some folks were watching in Louisiana tonight. Love you, honey. So thanks for everything. Thanks for Scott Sager letting me come down and do this. I'm still having fun, in case you were wondering. So as they're taking pictures of the two teams here, you can see all the parents and such. We're going to wrap things up here. Final score, Plymouth 2, Fairfield 1. The 2019 Town and Country 12U state champion, Plymouth Pilgrims. Good night from everybody here at RTC TV4. Steve Stricker. We'll be talking to you soon as we get kicked off with our fall coverage here in just a little while, about 2 weeks. Thanks for everybody. Appreciate you. God bless.